I just create on a file, click on a file, and I create a new project. After that, I'm giving the name of the project is learning Python from the scratch, because we learn the Python from scratch now. Okay, so let's start with a first program, that is hello world program. You just look over here. I just previously typed some code with respect to the Python programming language. Now this is our first statement that prints the hello world program. When we start any programming language, we learn how to write a hello world program so that we are able to understand how the interaction will be going on with compiler runners. So here is the print statement, is the output statement of a Python program, and we are passing some arguments to that function, that is hello world. So after executing this particular code, we get a hello world output. Okay, so this is a simple hello world program in a Python. Then after that, for the purpose of understanding, I am taking here another example with respect to the some mathematical operation. So for that, I am taking here one simple program in which you are able to do some mathematical operation in Python. Now look over here. Here I am taking number 1, that is 10, number 2, that is 20. These number 1 and number 2 are the variables, and we are assigning some values into that variable. Now then after that, we are just performing simple mathematical operation, that like as a sum, subtraction, then multiplication, addition and division, and the last one is the remainder. Sum is also the addition. So uh, we want to find out the sum of the two number, or this is addition of a two number. So I just pass here the number 1 and number 2, and whatever the result of this particular expression is stored in the sum. Then I print the sum value over here. Okay, then same way I am doing for a subtraction. Here the number 2 is greater, that's why I am taking here the number 2 minus number 1, and whatever the expression give the value, that result is stored in the subtraction to sub variable. Okay, so this is the statement that print the result of the subtraction. Then this third expression gives you the multiplication of the both element, that is number 1 and number 2, and store the data in mul. Okay, so for the multiplication I am use here the mul as a variable. Then the multiplication result is stored in this mul, and this particular statement give the output of the multiplication. Then I am here using the division operation. So for the division operation, we are the number 2 is greater, that's why I am taking here the number 2 divided by number 1, and then the result of this division is stored in the this div variable. After that, this division, this particular print function gives you the output with respect to the division of the number. Then here the last one is the remainder. This is particularly a modulus operator. What here is the percentage sign indicates the modulus operator in programming language, and it gives you the remainder of a particular expression. So number 1 and number 2, it gives you the remainder. So in this case, suppose I am passing here the 10 value as a number 1 and 20 value as a number 2. So after performing the division, the remainder is 10 only. Okay, so the result of this particular remainder is we get, that is 10. So after performing this particular simple mathematical operation, I want to execute this program, and you look over here the result. So here is the result with respect to the addition, that is sum, then the subtraction, that is 10, because we are taking the 20 minus 10, then the multiplication, and then the division, and then after that the remainder is 10. Okay, so this is a very simple program. Now this particular part I don't want to execute by the compiler, so I just write here the multi-line comment. So for that you just use here 1 2 3 likewise. So these are the this is the way through which you are able to do the multi-line command in a Python. Okay, suppose I need to only comment only a single line. Now look over here, and I want to comment only a single line. I don't want to this particularly hello world execute. So what I am taking, I just using the hash sign. So after applying the hash sign to this program, it only executed this instruction of a code, this instruction of a code. And you look over here the output. Now previously the output contained the hello world. Now the content, the hello world is not there, and this is particularly output with respect to this 5 statement of a printf, a print. Okay, it's a single line command. Now I need to make a multi-line command, so I just use over here for the multi-line command. Now 1 2 3. Okay, likewise this is the way through which you are able to do the multi-line command in the Python language. Now I am taking the another example with respect to doing the operation, like over here. Here is the statement. We need to take the two numbers from the user. Suppose I am taking a is equal to 12 and b is equal to 15. And then after we want to interchange that numbers. Now the a we need to we want to a contains a 15 and b contains a 12. So how to perform this program? So take the user from the take two numbers from the input from the user. So we need to take the input function in a Python. Okay, so I am declaring a is a variable, and in that variable we take the input from the user by input function in Python, and I am passing here the message that the user, this particular enter number 1 is for the user purpose, user understanding. Okay, whatever the message I am passing over here is for the user purpose. Now the second statement I am passing here, that is b is equal to input enter number 2. So it means that this particular two statement instruct the user to enter the number 1 and number 2. Then after that, whatever the number is taken from this particular input method, input function, that is in a string form, but we need to change the string into a number. So for that I am using here a is equal to int of a. So it is a typecasting of the variable. Now converting a data of a string into a integer. So this particular statement is a typecasting over here, and the value is converted into the integer. Now here a is equal to int of a and b is equal to int of b. It means that these two values, that is a and b, is a string, and after applying this typecasting I get the value of a is equal to some value and b is equal to some value, and it is in the integer format. Now before the interchanging operation, we just print the value, that is a and b. So whatever the value I pass here, suppose I am passing 12 and 15. So a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 12 and b is equal to 15. That is my output in this case. Now I am taking another variable, that is a temporary variable, and for the purpose of interchanging of the two element. So I am taking here the temp is equal to of a. It means that the content of a is stored in the temporary. Now the a is free, and whatever the a and whatever the b value contains. Now the next statement is that a is equal to b. It means that you are passing the value of a b into a. So in this case, you look over here, the temporary contains the a value. Now the a contains the b value. Now the temporary is vacant. Okay. Now the temporary is temporary contains the a value. A contains the b value. Now b is vacant. So b is equal to temp, it means that whatever the content of a temp, that is right now it's a, so the a value is stored in the b now, and the interchange is performed. So after taking the output of this particular program, you get the value of a is equal to the b and b is equal to the a. So it's a very simple program for the purpose of learning of a Python programming. So I just execute this code offline. So here the message on the user prompt, by using this particularly input statement on the terminal, I get the number one value. So I am placing here for here, that is 12. Now the a contained a 12, same way the b contained a 15. Okay, so here is the result. Before interchanging, the a contained the 12 and b contained the 15. Then after the interchanging, after the execution of this particular code, we get the value of a is equal to 15 and b is equal to 12. Okay, so these are the some simple program with respect to the Python. You just start the coding, you get the results of respective program. So this is the three program on the basis of you are able to do some other mathematical program, some other Python program. So I am giving you some problems so that you are able to make a program now, and I will provide a solution after this video. So here is the particular one program, that is a input temperature. You need to take temperature as an input, and you have to convert that temperature into a centigrade temperature, and whatever the temperature you are taking, that is in the Fahrenheit. Okay, and you have to convert that temperature into a centigrade. So this is the particular formula for conversion of a Fahrenheit into a centigrade. So C is equal to F minus 32 multiplied by 5 divided by 9. So this is the formula, and you need to perform the conversion of Fahrenheit to a centigrade. So this is one program. Then for a second program, you are taking the input as a length and breadth of a rectangle and a radius, and on the basis of that, whatever the this is for the particular length and breadth for a rectangle and radius for the circle. Okay, so on the basis of length and breadth, you need to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle and the area of a rectangle. So below are the two formulas through which you are able to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle as well as area of a rectangle. These two values you are taking from the input. Now the second thing is that you need to calculate the area of a circle and the circumference of a circle. So these are the other two formulas with respect to the area of a circle and the circumference of a circle. So I hope you try these two problems to solve your own by using Python programming, so that you are understand how to write a code. So it's a very simple problem.